Okay, guys, let's see the part two. In the part two, we will see the a special body in the OECD groups. The OECD is made for the cooperation between developed world and also non-developed world. Yeah, let's focus on the development issues. They have to, the OECD members have to cooperation with the developing world for the goals. Yeah. For that, the OECD made a special groups inside of the memberships. They made the special groups for the development assistance. Yeah. So this group is consists of the very developed members of OECD. Okay, so we call that group as the DAC, DAC. Yeah. The DAC, DAC is designed for the development work inside of the OECD systems, and then they decide many things for the development work in the OECD systems. Okay, DAC in OECD, DAC in the OECD, is the executive committee on the development work in the OECD structure. Okay, so let's focus on the DAC in the part two. Okay, DAC, the Development Assistance Committee, DAC, yeah, it is a very special group in the OECD members for the world's main donors. Yeah, and then the members of the DAC is the main donors in the development work in the international communities. So, and also they are members of the OECD, of course, yeah. So, the DAC, it is a group inside of the OECD systems for the ODA works. This group was established in the 1960s, and then they have done many works for the development issues as the name of OECDs. It is very unique forum, a good stage for sharing their opinions and their lessons. Yeah, with the whole OECD members and also the non-member countries as well. They defining, and they check the global standard in the key areas of the development work based on the neutrality and the high quality works. Think about that. The DAC, the members of the DAC is the highest level of donor countries. They have many experiences to help other countries, and they have many lessons from their experiences. Therefore, they have their own know-how regarding the ODA works. Therefore, their report and their decision is very effective to the OECD. Not just OECD, but also in a whole international community regarding regarding development issues. Roughly speaking, around 30 members and observers work in the DAC memberships. Recently, they opened the doors to the non-DAC members in the OECD systems, and then they can make much more effective work. For example, the DAC members or the DAC group itself, if they make co-project with the China, of course, it is not DAC members, and the India or Brazil, if they can work together with these countries, then they can make more powerful research of their work. Okay, so DAC. It is very essential of OECD system. This group is the core of the ODA works in the OECD systems. Okay, let's focus on the detailed works of the DAC. The DAC has the technical groups, DCD, the DCD is the Development Cooperation Directorate. This is the very higher level of special supporters of DAC. So many specialists on the development issues. The DCD, they will support the works of DAC. Developing better policies for better lives, it is a kind of slogan of the DAC. Providing transparent data on the development, finance, and the improved development cooperation practices and policies. And then they also provide a good evidence-based policy advice, and then also they provide the open forums to share their knowledge with the OECD members or non-OECD members as well. So the DAC is a kind of good stage to make or to share their knowledge on the development work. Okay, another point. The work is to build wide-ranging partnerships, to provide innovative and integrated approaches to the range of development challenges. And of course, they will follow the mainstream of the development standard, such as SDGs, right? So the SDG from United Nations should be definitely effective to the works of DAC. And the Paris Declaration of Aid effectiveness, which is made in the OECD itself, definitely it is related to the works of DAC. Recently, they are doing many challengeable jobs, new issues, such as climate change and fair trade. These things are very new issues on the development area, for a long time, many countries, many donor countries or international community, they ignored, they couldn't make good solutions for that. So it is very challenging issues and very complicated work. However, the DAC, they are doing for the jobs regarding these issues, right? Okay, now let's see the law for the DAC. The DAC, inside of the OECD, they established based on the resolutions of the OECD, such as the DAC mandate, like in the 2010, and then the Council of the OECD, they approved these things in the 2010. The function of law is to renew the power of a committee, this also provides the directions of the works in relation to the OECD systems. And the fundamental rules for the ODA works of the DAC. Of course, these rules can be changed and reconstructed with the many situations inside of the OECD or outside of OECD. So this is the one of the examples of the law for DAC, and then they have many more rules for the DAC. Okay, they have a preamble. Yeah, then when we read the preamble, they will understand main things, main work or background of the DAC. The Council, committed to supporting the developing country, in the effort to improve the life of the peoples in sustainable manner, including by attaining the Millennium Development Goal. Those days, the Millennium Development Goal was the main standard of United Nations for the development issues. But of course, nowadays, it is replaced by the Sustainable Development Goal. And then, recognizing that DAC continued their common effort for the future, and they convinced that the need to align development, the cooperation, is very important things with the developing countries or the developing region. Aware that, the global economy and the economy of each countries, are at the risk of increasing marginalization, right? So, to solve these issues, they have to do something, and then they will make the DAC in the inside of the OECD, and they will manage these groups for the development work. Okay, so this is the background of the law and the establishment or management of the DAC. And then, furthermore, they also provided the other point, needs for the DAC to work with the other policy communities and the development stakeholders, DAC is very important. And then they convinced that sustainable and broad-based development of developing country, this is the core jobs for them. And then, they also, the DAC is the pivot for their development work, in the inside of the OECD, for the developing country to continue the required official development assistance in the OECD level. So the DAC has the very official and the crucial work player, in the OECD bodies. Okay, the decisions on the works of the DAC. The committee, the DAC, shall do those kind of work. Their function is like that: monitor, assess, report, and promote the provisions of resource. Okay, and then B, review development cooperation policies and practices. And then C, they will provide analysis, guidance on good practice to share their lessons. D, they will analyze and help the shape of rapidly evolving the global development architecture, right? And E, the committee will promote perspective on global public good and policy coherence. And lastly, F, the committee will engage or invite non-member countries, the international organizations, private sector organizations, and civil society representatives. Okay? Right. And then furthermore, the DAC, they have the very special delegated power to normal functions, yeah, like that. The committee shall continue to make recommendations to members of the committee, as well as to the Council of the OECD within their competence on matters related to their development issues. So the committee is kind of a brain of the OECD regarding development issues. They will make many information, analysis, research, and report, yeah, and they make recommendations, advices to the whole OECD groups, committees, councils, and other members. The committee, DAC, the DAC, yeah, and they will do their jobs. And then they will do the jobs, and then these under these rules, they have the termination, but this termination should be renewed again until now. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. The OECD or DAC work of the development issues. Okay. So we have checked the OECD stuff, and then internal systems of OECD regarding development issues. DAC is the core body, yeah, and they are work together inside of the OECD structure, and they will do many kind of external work with the non-member countries or other international organizations under the name of OECD. Okay? Right, let's see the details. The development work, development issues in the OECD or DAC. What kind of work? Yeah, what kind of issues? Yeah, see that. Environment, aid effectiveness, evaluation of development job, and conflict, and fragility, and governance, gender issues regarding development area, poverty reductions, and aid for trade. Right? So these are main theme of recent days of OECD to discuss about the future regarding the development issues. Okay, let's see the details of the each issues. Environment issues. We don't have to talk about the importance of environment issues. In the development areas, especially, environment issues very, very sensitive things. For the developing country, environmental issues is a need of money. So it is very hard to take a burden. Therefore, to solve the environment issues in the developing country, donor countries or OECD have to do something for the developing country. So they are doing many works regarding environmental issues for the developing country, such as capacity development of environment for the developing country, climate change issues for the developing country, green growth and development issues for the developing country. Strategic environmental assessment, this is very difficult job for the developing countries to assess the environment effect in the developing country. So they will support the developing country for these areas. Aid effectiveness, yeah. Whenever they poured lots of money to the developing country, we can see it many cases it's not so effective. So aid effectiveness is becoming more important. Yeah, if we provide this the money for a developing project, a certain developing project for this money, then we will expect some result. But if we couldn't make these research, then we can say that it's not effective, right? So yes, the OECD, they will do to improve the effectiveness of aid work, development work. Evaluation of development programs. To make the effectiveness of the project, we have to evaluate the project, okay? So they need a kind of evaluation skills or a standard, something like that. So the OECD, they will make the common standard or evaluation technology or skills or like that. To make development programs more effective or to strengthen the accountability to support independent evaluation, yes, the OECD will do something for the developing country and also the member countries as well. Okay? Right, let's see the other point. Conflict and fragility. Yeah. The international societies, they have many struggles, many disputes. Yeah. And also, small country, for example, they are more weak, yeah, to win in the dispute. So, to improve international engagement in the fragile state, it is very key point. So, to reduce the conflict or fragility, the OECD have to do something. They invent various types of the accessibility to the countries, or they provide some kind of opportunity to compete in the international society, something like that. Governance, yeah. For the effectiveness of the development work, governance is very important thing. How to manage the project, that is governance. Fighting corruption for development, yeah. Human rights, and then taxation and accountability, they are related to their governance issues. So good governance, it is, yeah, fundamental things for the effective development work. The OECD, they are doing many kind of improvement of governance level for developing countries. Gender equality. Wow, yes. We don't have to talk about the importance of the gender equality. Developing country is, yeah, especially gender equality is very difficult issues to improve. So the DAC and the OECD, they support developing countries, yeah, to make the better gender equality situations. So they are doing some kind of event, such as the DAC network on gender equality, yeah. it is not only international forum, is the only one international forum where the expert from development cooperation agencies regarding the gender equality and women's empowerment, right? So, yeah, gender equality, the OECD member countries and then DAC, they will see these issues very, very important way, okay? All right, poverty reduction, yeah. The OECD, one of the main theme for the developing country, the work is poverty reduction. We have many programs to reduce the poverty in the developing countries. Aid for trade. Yeah, we have checked these issues in when we studied the WTO systems. Yeah, like that. Or OECD or DAC, they also wanted to make benefit for the developing country, yeah, to do more with the more trade activities. How can you support the developing country to do more trade activity? Yeah, they will provide many opportunity, yeah, in the trade event or some kind of to provide with the provision of techniques, yeah, or to share their knowledge regarding the trade regulations. So, yeah, this area is the one of the main theme for the OECD to work with the WTO system. Okay, so the global monitoring process was set by the OECD and WTO together. It is core project for the OECD and WTO systems. Okay, guys, this is the end of part 2 of today's lecture. Today, we checked the OECD as the one of the main international organizations. Yeah, the international organizations consist of the major players in the international communities, mainly from the Western European countries and United States and Canada. But nowadays, they expanded the memberships. Yeah. Since 1960s, yeah, these membership was expanded. And also, their one of major role is to help developing country. To do that, they established the special committee that is DAC. Yeah, the DAC is the core players in the structure of OECD regarding development work. So DAC is the main body of ODA works of OECD. DAC, they are doing many works with OECD members and non-OECD members and other international organizations such as United Nations and the WTO. Okay? Right. This is the end of part 2 of today's lecture. Thank you very much. I'll see you next lecture.